Is everything okay, John?
No, something's really off today, Johannes. I feel like my goblin magic isn't working correctly today.
What do you mean?
Watch this.
What?
No, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's broken. Hold on.
Where's my hat? What?
No, wait, see? Oh, wait, hold on. All right, just forgot. I shouldn't try and use any of my goblin magic during the show. It's just going to mess the whole thing up. So, let's get to Nick Thune right now. Well, at least you got the name right this time. Wow! Look at you.
How you doing?
Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
I've actually never said my full name anyway, but you walked in just with the light behind you. It was like you were like an angel in denim.
Thank you.
A Canadian tuxedoed angel.
Canadian angel.
A Canadian angel. A canangel.
Mm-hmm.
You can pull that mic
I don't know
right.
if you could say that word, actually.
Is that offensive?
I think it is, yeah.
Canangels.
Yeah, I think they're just North American angels. I don't think that and I don't think angels see borders.
I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that about angels. I tell you what, Johannes. Yeah. Whatever the sound levels were last week for Steph Toliv, we're going to have to pretty much go the exact opposite, okay? Gotcha. Crank it up about 17 more notches.
Not the first time I've heard that.
Really?
Especially specifically with Steph.
Is that what you do? You always book right after her on podcasts.
And it's a sound guy's nightmare, to be honest.
Oh my God. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Going from her, we didn't even actually use the mic on her episode. Is that correct?
No, that's about right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And here you are.
Is this mic, is this where you want me to have it, or is
You
it?
can move it wherever you want. Whatever feels more comfortable.
So over here's fine?
That's a bit too far, but...
Right here's
So
good?
then it can't be wherever he wants it.
Well, it could be there. It wouldn't be great for us.
Well, just take a stand. Okay,
Yeah.
tell him you're the producer. I'm so sorry about this, by the way.
Take a stand. Take a mic stand.
Do what?
Sorry, nothing.
What was that?
Nothing.
He's Italian.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm from Sweden. That's where I'm from.
Bonjour.
There you go. See? He knows.
Pardon my French.
Welcome, Nick. Nick
Thank you.
Dude.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you.
Yeah, it's really an honor. I mean, this feels. I mean, look at the history.
Yeah, that's kind of like our Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
/ the only graphic that's ever been made for our show.
And those all look like stills that I'm sure each of them approved.
Oh, 100%. They're
Yeah.
reps, they're PR teams. We filtered through so many.
I've never seen any of them look better, to be honest.
Yeah, and you can tell they're all the same color scheme.
Mm-hmm. They don't look like screen grabs at all or anything.
No, and I like that.
That's crazy, too, to get them all booked for that photo.
Yes. Well, they were all here. And we had them scrunched together. We did that live.
Yeah.
This is not, nothing's been edited. Beth was nice enough to just let go of the rest of her body.
I mean, and also, I don't know, I mean, I'm not sure what you prompted each of them, but the fact that they kind of each have a different thought happening, you know?
Yeah. Well, I just kind of made a statement, and they all had their own reactions to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Welcome, Nick.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to have you. And just so you know, we rarely record. We're going to kind of like just see what happens. I don't want to put the pressure on you that we have to get a podcast recorded.
Yeah.
We're just going to kind of see what happens.
Do you guys do a full podcast, or is it just for the clips?
We just do clips. We're a YouTube Shorts podcast.
No, we're not. We're releasing full episodes.
Oh.
Yeah.
A TikTok
No.
podcast.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's kind of all you
Instagram Reels podcast.
Still no.
Vine.
Vine.
That,
podcast.
yeah.
Friendster podcast. We're in everyone's MySpace top 5 of podcasts.
That's a huge accomplishment too, because you know, to kind of reboot the site and get that all back up, and
here we are. And we did it. We did it. Nick, I want to ask you a few things.
great.
And I'm going to do them in the form of questions.
Okay. And then you want me to answer?
I want you to kind of just say what you're feeling.
Okay.
I don't want to put any pressure on you.
Yeah.
I don't want any kind of pressure. But I want to start with this. Because I've seen a lot of photos of you, and you're always dressed to the nines, as they say. And what does that mean? Dressed to the nines.
I'm not sure.
Where do you
I
think
think
that came
it's.
from?
I mean, it feels like you're almost dressed to the max. You know, if it was like a 1 through 10 sort of a thing.
Then I think the expression should be, you look like you're dressed to the 10.
Yeah.
Dressed to the nines, I mean, you're almost there.
Well, but when you get to 10, you're just reusing 1 and 0. You know, so I think 9 is kind of like the fullest number you can get to. Because it's basically full of all the other numbers, if you think about it.
That's true. We should totally change the scale, the grading scales.
Yeah.
All of them. 1 to 9. No repeats.
And it is, I do see that too. As far as letters, they really, you know, at least they went down to 26. And yeah, they all kind of work together. And numbers, they just went to 9 and thought, well, I think we're good.
Yeah, we're done here.
Yeah.
Our work here is done.
I see a way we could just keep using these 9.
Flipping it.
Yeah.
Let's put all these together. Let's get you with you. Actually, after that, let's get you with you. And then they just keep working it.
Yeah, and then even when you see 3, for instance, because to me, 3 feels like it should be 7. You know, like, because to me, it goes 1, 2, 7, 4, 5, 6, 3, 8, 9. But because 3 doesn't match visually, I think, between 2 and 4 at all. I think you see I see a 7 there.
I think it's 1, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah. 1, 6, 7, 5, 3, 0, 9. I think also, yeah, because in that way, you're getting rid of 4,
Yep.
0.
Yep.
No, you got O in there. Well, you're using a letter.
Oh my God. Yeah, I am. I'm part of the problem.
You never
Nick.
say like 0, my God.
This is like if Pete Holmes and Joaquin Phoenix had a baby. Look at it. I mean, we're just really getting kind of like more like Joaquin Portland.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Not as hot there. Not as hot. Where are you from originally, Nick?
Not too far from Portland, actually, Seattle.
Are those close?
They are. I mean, as far as cities go, they're pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess depending on what your scale is, you know, because I think a baby probably thinks they're pretty far away.
On a scale of 1 to 9, using our new number system, how close is Portland to Seattle?
7.
Okay. Very close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Neighbors.
Yeah, pretty close.
So you grew up in Seattle, and then when did you decide to move to Los Angeles?
2004.
What caused the move, Nick?
I felt like a small fish in a pretty small pond, and I thought, why not try and get into a bigger pond, you know, and see if I could grow it all, if I could maybe just be a small fish in a bigger pond. And that's kind of what has happened, I think.
Did you grow?
There's been some growth for sure.
There has?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been stunted as well.
What do you think stunted it, Nick?
Partying. I think definitely Scientology. I think that was a big misstep on my part. I would say probably all 6 of the religions I got involved in definitely got in the way.
Yeah.
But now that I'm through all that, I feel like I'm pretty open.
For another one?
Yeah, I'm
Great.
ready to go.
I would love to talk to you about one after we wrap.
Okay.
Just start with like a very small investment, okay? I send you some material, stuff like that. You kind of recruit some other people, kind of like in your neighborhood and community. Then you get them working for you. And then sooner or later, you get a Cadillac.
Does this have anything to do with water purification?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've done that one.
Okay. You've already done it.
Yeah.
And?
I that was actually, I did that one right after a prepaid legal thing that I was doing. Water purification. Then I did the Tupperwares.
Yeah.
But I think as far as the water, I would actually say that I still believe in them. You know, it's like a lot of these religions I still believe in. I think it's acquiring as many as possible as part of my.
What about cars for kids?
That's okay. Thank you for bringing that
Yeah.
up.
Is there a kid in there?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nor a car. But okay. Now, this is actually a place that I was hoping to kind of get this. I don't know how to make this work right, but
And don't worry, he doesn't know how to make it work right.
let's get it tuned up. But
Oh, hey, Nick. Mm-hmm. Can you make sure your guitar is in tune? In tune,
I think you misprint. Oh yeah.
dude.
I'm
Dude, your guitar.
so here's the thing is that
Wait a minute, where'd this guitar come from? We just jump cut, and whoa, Goblin magic! And now there's a coffee cup here.
yeah, we want to get that out of there, right?
I mean, I don't know. Are we sponsored by coffee?
Nope.
Yeah, then get it out of here.
How about by cups?
Yeah, cups are pretty good, but
Okay.
not coffee though.
Hey, today's episode is brought to you by cups.
Yeah. And
Fill her
pants.
up. And what?
Pants.
And pants. Cups and pants.
Yeah, what a wild ride.
Yeah, and I have with me, we should start rolling because he has got his guitar now.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like when you put a guitar on YouTube Shorts or TikToks or Vine, does pretty well. So, right now, I have holding a guitar that's now in Thune, comedian, actor, musician, that's right, artist. We'll talk about that. Fashionista. And described once by a comedian who shall not be named, but his name rhymes with Bosha Basher, a clothes whore.
That makes sense that he would
Nick
say
Thune,
something like
everybody.
that.
Round of applause, Johannes. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
So, in this business, especially in comedy, you could, now it's kind of different. People are writing the same joke over and over again. But I think when I started, it was kind of like a race to get something on TV. If you get it on TV, you own it. That's your joke. Some people might be doing something similar, then they got to cut it out of their act because you got it there first, right? Now, when I was doing open mics, I had a song I was doing. And to me, this song was about... It was kind of bigger than... It was about how cars just aren't made for kids. And maybe there are some kids that do want to get behind the wheel. And so I put... And I took that song, the Jenny 8675309, because I loved the idea of a phone number being in a song, because to me that... It is numbers, because the interesting thing about numbers is you can spell them out, which I think is interesting to get letters involved in numbers. That's a different story. But so I put together a song and then did it a couple times. The audiences did not like it and then moved on. 15, 20 years later, I hear this song on the radio all the time. And it's totally not what it was that I made it as. For me, it was a song about kids and the danger of driving in adult cars.
Yeah, but they're just children.
Yeah.
And they're behind the wheel.
So it's kind of a love story. Little Timmy and Johnny got in their dad's car. They didn't make it too far. He couldn't reach the gas or the brake. They're kids, for goodness sake. So they wrapped their car around a pole. They both died. 1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today. These cards aren't made for kids. The parents were really depressed. 1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids.
Wow.
I don't remember the whole song really, but it was a love, it's
Yeah.
a song about these kids dying. And
Totally different vibe, Nick.
Yeah.
A totally different vibe.
yeah. And then you hear it on the radio and you think, okay, somebody was obviously at one of those open mics. They saw me singing that. And then later on, I don't know what they're doing with these kids or the cars.
They changed it into like a demented, happy thing.
Yeah. It's like,
And they're making the kids sing it.
yeah.
They're not just making the kids drive cars now. They're making them sing the song, which is like even more humiliating and more dangerous.
Yeah. Do you want to harmonize on that? The chorus?
Absolutely, Nick.
1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today.
Wow.
Why don't you sing a verse?
Sure.
Keeping Jimmy and Tommy in mind.
Sure. Absolutely. I'll sing a verse. What key is this?
C.
Oh, okay. I'm more of a C flat guy, but that's fine. That's fine. So little Jimmy and who else?
Tommy.
Little Tommy set out one day for an adventure. And little Jimmy had a little too much to drink and got behind the wheel. And that was their last drive of their life.
1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today.
Today.
When their parents found out, they got bummed. Both their kids had died. Only one of them was actually theirs. The other was the dad's brother who also died, and he took the kid, as kind of a brother thing. Like in The Patriot, I think, with Mel Gibson.
Oh, yeah. That I was going to say, very similar.
1877 cars for kids. KARS cars for kids. 1877 cars for kids. Donate your car today. That was nice.
Yeah, I don't know that that's why they spelled cars that way this whole time. Because of your song.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe that was part of how they got out of the whole copyright thing.
Oh, yeah. The guy he's like, okay, so I saw this comedian doing this thing. Mm-hmm. And he was like, and I was going to steal his bit. It's about cars and kids driving. And obviously that's a problem. And everyone was like, yeah, of course it is, man. Of course.
Yeah.
But they're like, I feel like we can make it into like a happy thing, put a spin on it, get more kids and more cars.
Yeah.
And they're like, buddy, Nick is going to come after us. He's going to lawyer up.
Yeah.
He's going to come straight for us.
I mean, I'm going to lawyer down as well because I like to hire a couple lawyers and then at some point.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have the down lawyers, the up lawyers, meet in the middle. Mm-hmm. Middleman lawyers.
Yeah.
Those ones that get it done.
Yeah. That's what they do.
Well, I love that, Nick. Nick, I noticed that in a lot of the clips I did see of you, you are playing your guitar. Mm-hmm. At what point where you're like, these jokes could use a little music? Because here's the thing. I come from the music space, I'm the lead singer of a band, Nekrogoblikon, and I just started to do comedy. It's just kind of one of those things that just like kind of came to me where it's just like, instead of doing like years and years in clubs, like building up an act and really working on my craft, I just got a viral video and a bunch of followers. I got signed by a big agency, the Philip Morris Agency.
Oh, wow.
And they're just like, we're just going to have you start doing clubs, being above all these other comedians and stuff. So I said yes. But now I'm wondering, like, should I incorporate metal into my comedy or some kind of music?
I think for me, it wasn't I think that the joke, I was writing jokes and I thought these could use music. I was trying to write music and people were telling me that I was a joke. And so the more and more it happened, I thought, well, maybe I could kind of play that game, you know, come in and actually add jokes to the music to make it seem like that's what I was meaning to do.
Oh yeah, because you're writing songs. You're like, Mom, it's serious.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know, it's pretty funny, Nick.
Yeah.
And you were like,
it's funny, and it's hard to say laughing with or at, you know. I don't know what. Whatever.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
People at my shows, it was like, oh, silly goblin, you're a little hump. And I'm like, thank you. Mm-hmm. It's called physical comedy, you know, doing bits, doing act outs, as they say, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did you say? I actually wanted to. I don't. There's a song you mentioned you guys are sponsored by pants.
Yeah. And cups.
Yeah, I have I actually am in a family from the pant industry. And there was a song we used to always sing growing up, and if you don't mind, I'd love to.
Nick, I would be honored.
Yeah. Everybody's got to wear their pants sometimes. Everybody's got to wear their pants sometimes. Hey, if you don't like wearing your pants all the time, we don't want your business. And, you know, I mean, it really is a statement saying, hey, if you don't want to wear pants and we don't, you're in the wrong place here. And we're not going to sell you on pants. We're not going to explain to you why shorts are a bad idea.
And do you feel like, at what point did big pants shut you down?
Well, for a little bit there in the early aughts, you
Yeah.
know, it was definitely people were wearing tighter pants.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think kind of back now, we're back into the bigger pants. And so big pants definitely kind of got its foot in the door, I think. I guess you could say their leg in the door. I know. I didn't mean to do it.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's that musician in you. Mm-hmm. That's that musician in you. You said that. You're like, this is a great lyric. But I was like, I think that's funny. Mm-hmm. And now I see the dichotomy.
Yeah.
It's like, you're just trying to be a musician. But what you're saying is friggin' hilarious. And I'm laughing.
Whether I know it or not.
You don't know it.
Mostly unaware.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going up on stage saying ideas that I think are pretty good and serious. And whenever I think it's really serious, that's genuinely when people think it's the funniest.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
That's what the New York Times said.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Johannes, what's wrong, pal?
Something wrong with my site.
Oh, you need a site? Then you should go to squarespace.com. This episode is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is going to give you everything you need so you can offer services and get paid all in one place.
No, it's my eye.
Showcase what you can offer with a fully customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. You can even streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
It's not that. I just can't.
Just can't design. Yeah, I totally understand, Johannes. Well, you're in luck. With Squarespace's cutting-edge design tools, even you can build an online presence that perfectly fits your brand. Just start with Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder, to get a fully custom website in just a few steps. It works by asking basic information about your industry, goals, and personality to generate premium quality content and personalized design recommendations. And if you can't do that, then Squarespace also offers a complete library of professionally designed website templates with options for every use and category. So easy a Johannes could do it. And here's the thing, Goblin Army. No matter where you start, your website is flexible to what you need with intuitive drag and drop editing, beautiful styling options, unrivaled visual design effects, on-brand AI content. No experience required. Head on over to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, make sure you use offer code right now to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. What do you think of that, Johannes?
Yeah, sounds great. Doesn't make my eye better, though.
Actually, Johannes, I think you need to get some glasses. You can see what a deal this is. I like to Google my guests, okay? And I like to see, when you Google this guest, what do people search around that guest? Do you know what the top 3 searches are when you search Nick Thune?
You type in Nick Thune, and then what comes up after that?
Yeah, it says these are the 3 most common searches when searching Nick Thune. What do you think?
I wouldn't know. I mean, maybe Nick Thune is tall.
Is he?
I mean, that's what people want to know.
I think they do. And
Or people just want it to be in there that they know that.
Well, here's what they did want to know, which this just goes to show you what kind of host I am. I already asked it. Where is Nick Thune from?
Interesting.
Right outside of Portland.
Yeah.
Number 2, what happened to Nick Swartzen?
Interesting. Recently?
What happened to Nick Swartzen?
Are you trying to say Swardson? Is that what you're doing?
Is it
Swartzen.
Swartzen?
Den? Okay, whatever.
So people.
What am I saying?
You're saying Swartzen.
And what's his name?
Swardson.
Yeah, I think
Swardson.
Nick Swardson.
Nick Swartzen.
Sword.
Sword.
Sin.
Said. What happened to him?
I mean, that seems that people. It's interesting that people are looking me up and then wondering about that.
And the last one is, what is Nick Kroll famous for?
I'm trying to think. What is he famous for? I mean, I guess the Kroll Show. That's probably what they find out.
The answer is the Kroll Show. But they're searching for you.
Yeah.
They want to know what you think.
About those things.
Yeah, they want to know, what does Nick Thune think Nick Kroll is famous for?
And those are 2 Nicks. It's funny because those are 2 Nicks that I know.
Ask him.
Yeah, so that's maybe why.
Maybe just text
because they're
Nick's-
not like saying about Nick Nolte, who I actually have met.
Well, tech Swartso, Swan Song, and ask him where he is. Say, what happened, dude? What
Yeah.
happened to you? And then read that text in the next interview, because they're going to ask you, because this is
Yeah.
like, everyone on the internet wants to know. This is the top searches.
I mean, you know what would probably be good for your podcast is if you put in the description, Nick Thune talks about where Nick Swartzen is and what Nick Kroll is famous for. And then that is going to really, I think, draw some traffic.
I think you just got our title. I think that whole thing, what you just said, clip it. We'll put in some guitar.
Is that all you have to do to make a clip? You just say clip it?
Yeah.
God, okay.
What are you
I've
doing?
been trying to figure that out.
Are you like editing and doing all this stuff?
I didn't know.
No, it's just like Siri now.
Yeah.
You just say, clip it.
no, it's not. I have to do it. There's no Siri.
Yeah, but all you have to do, Nick, is say clip it,
Yeah.
and then it clips it.
Yeah.
So
That really simplifies it because I think that's going to be good for my social medias.
are you big on social media, Nick?
It's all I think about.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm thinking when I see this,
Right now. Yep.
when I see this clip of me talking about social media on social media, will I like it or not? You know, and I guess I could heart it, but in the end, though, really, do I love it? Is kind of the thought, and I mean, I'm definitely in love. I mean, every week I print out my screen time statistics, and I post them on the bathroom mirror, and I say, what can I do to get these numbers up?
Yeah.
And
You have a boardroom in your home.
Yeah.
You call yourself in. Nick, let me talk to you. It's just a bunch of mirrors.
how do we get these numbers up?
Yeah, we got to get these numbers up, okay? Screen time said 12 hours. Guess how many are in a day? Guess how many are in a day, Nick? Take a guess.
25.
25.
And that's wrong.
That's right. That's right, but that's wrong.
Yeah. There's 24.
So guess what?
And that was kind of a trick question I asked myself. Because there should be 24 hours of viewing a day.
Minimum.
Yeah.
That's the baseline.
If you can get up to 25, that would be great.
I think everyone should be solely focused on how much time they spend online.
Everybody, look at these numbers. Unacceptable. We need these numbers up. Instagram, up. We're up 20% from last week, but we're down 40% from Christmas break. We want to look at this like we're at Christmas right now. You're at home. You want to get away from your family. That's how we want you looking at your phone in February.
Ask yourself this. How often am I escaping into the bathroom to sit on the toilet and look at my phone? Not long enough.
Not enough. Not enough
Not
times.
enough.
And not long enough. And also, why aren't you going out to the car and driving somewhere and pulling over on the side of the street and just checking stuff?
It's like when that thing dings, you better pick it up immediately and see what the
Yeah.
ding was. You gotta immediately see what
You
that
gotta
ding
have
was.
dings too, because notifications, I think some people get stressed out, but it's like that is just notifying you, hey, you're ignoring me, get back in here.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's not wrong.
I set notifications up on everything.
I do too. No
Yeah.
matter what's happening. I like to make fake accounts. So I make sure
You just
that I'm
get
getting
notifications.
I'll like from a burner account all my stuff on JohnGoblikon.com.
Yeah.
You know?
You should see me in the settings because I'll get, first of all, I get into general, and it's like.
Oh, you just you dive in.
General.
Yep.
And he says, good to see you, soldier.
Yep.
And I say, I'm just in here to change my wallpaper, sir.
And?
It says at ease. And then it turns out the wallpaper's not even in general. That's actually just out in the main menu, which.
Really?
That's something you got to figure out on your own.
See, I found the hard way. I was, hello, privacy. They're like, you can't talk right now.
Yeah.
It's
No.
locked. Like, I can't get in.
No. I like to also, my face thing.
Yeah.
That reads my face. I'll change that every day.
I like that.
Yeah.
You want it to be so current. It's like, who am I today? I'm totally different.
Yeah.
I don't look the way I did yesterday.
As far as like just also aging, the last thing I ever want to happen is for me to be trying to get into my phone and it's not in there. Like my face. It's not in there.
And with all the new filters they have, which completely take away all my wrinkles,
Oh, God.
I like to put that on and then have my phone recognize that as the face I want, and that unlocks my phone.
The Paris filter.
Yes!
Bonjour.
What did you just
That's
say?
what I say every time I post it. Because I put it in Paris, and then I post and I say bonjour. Like almost like I'm saying hi to Instagram. Here's a post.
Yes!
I mean, as far as filters go, I'm a pretty unfiltered guy. But when I post, I'm pretty filtered.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't want to put the wrong thing out there, and I also don't want people to get, because you can tell when there's a filter, and you can tell when somebody's showboating and not using filters.
Can you?
Oh, yeah.
Really? But I have like the cat whiskers and stuff, and
Oh, God. Yeah.
you could tell
Yeah.
that it has a filter.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think they're getting away with something there, and we all know you don't have whiskers
Interesting.
or hard eyes.
But I'm getting a lot of likes and a lot of comments and the
Yeah.
little cat emoji with hard eyes.
Because they're probably thinking, oh, that's so cute. He thinks he has whiskers.
oh, well.
He thinks that we think he has whiskers.
I feel dumb.
Poor guy. Yeah, and it's
I
really...
feel so dumb.
It's empathy. It's grace, really. It's kind of them, just when they like it, they're just saying, poor guy.
Oh, no. I want to get to a point where it doesn't turn off. Like, I don't like that I can click my phone and all the social media goes away. Mm-hmm. I want it to be present.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish this was live streaming.
You wish you could sign in the morning
Yes. Keep going.
and then never sign out.
Never sign out. I'm here. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm here. I'm ready. I don't want this to end.
Now, how do you view yourself, though? Do you see yourself as a reel, as maybe just a straight post on the grid, or do you see yourself as a story?
You know what, Nick? I've had a lot of guests in that throat, and a lot of people asking me the tough questions. I kind of see myself like a post that could be shared to the story with like a link. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That'd be nice. And also, you know, especially if that story does well, you can turn that story into a reel.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, it's kind of like, hey, you might have missed this. Because people are missing them. They're missing stories. And you want to knock on their door and say, hey, you got 1 hour and this story's gone forever. Get in here.
What do they do? If they didn't turn it off, see, if they couldn't turn it off, Nick, then they'd all be in there.
Yeah.
For 1 hour, every single person's in there.
When I post a story, I set a timer. And I know I got 24 hours to get that story to as many people as possible. Okay? So I'm checking, and I'm checking, and I'm in there, and I'm looking at the numbers. And again, we're printing the numbers out. We're bringing it into the whole team. All the guys are getting together. We got together, and we got some donuts.
Oh.
You know, and we say we got to get these numbers up because the numbers of the people viewing your stories are not adding up to the number of followers that you have.
That's what I'm going to tell Johannes. That's what
This
I was telling
number
him.
needs to be this number.
I have 100,000 followers, Johannes.
What do you get? We post a story right now. What are you going to get?
I don't know, 1,100? 500?
Not okay.
Not okay.
What's
Something's not
everybody
adding up.
doing?
Where is everybody?
I'm checking my stories. I'm looking at your stories.
I'm looking at your stories.
Yeah.
That's what I did this morning. I looked at
I'm
your
looking
stories.
at stories, and you can count on me.
That's right. I can, Nick.
But how do we get these numbers to add up?
Do you ever get like kind of excited when you're watching someone's story and it says like posted 23 hours ago? It's like you hear the Mission Impossible theme. You're like, dun. You're like, this thing's going to explode soon. And I just hover on it. I wait for it to disappear in real time.
Have you ever seen it say 1 day?
That's like,
I've always wondered how long, because it does do that.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered how long is that 1 day there? Because you're about to lose.
oh yeah.
You are about to lose. So I'll screenshot it.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call.
Because I know if it's a 16-hour thing, I know hour 17, 18, 19, anytime in between there, even if you get up to 20 or 21 or 22 or 23, I'm going to be able to check that post again. And they'll not know that. And does that count as another view?
It should.
I hope. That's all I hope. That's all I can do is hope when I'm doing that. That counts. That gives them one more number. One more.
You're a good guy, Nick. Did anyone ever
Thank
tell you
you.
that?
No.
Well, you're a good guy. I want you to.
Thank
I want
you.
you to hear it, Nick. I know it's hard for you.
Yeah, because it's just like sometimes, aiming for the good guy thing just can get in the way of being a good guy, I think,
I don't know. There's a lot of good guys in comedy.
Yeah, that's what they're known for.
Yeah.
Comedy is known for having a lot of good guys.
That's what I've always said.
Yeah.
Attention, Austin, Texas. I'm going to be doing so many shows for the Moontower Comedy Festival. You can see me do stand-up Wednesday, April 16th at 9 p.m. at the Vulcan Gas Company. Then Thursday, come have a drink with me for my very own Goblin Happy Hour at Higbee's. Then later that night, you can see me join Jeremiah Watkins for stand-up on the spot at Creek in the Cave. Then hand to Gob, not one, but 2 live podcast recordings. April 18th at 6 p.m. at the Sunset Strip with the Sklar Brothers and one of your all-time favorite Right Now podcast guests, Chloe Radcliffe. I can't wait to see her again. Then we're going to close things out with a bang. Saturday, April 20th, we have the legend herself, Janine Garofalo. That's pretty big, Johannes.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And that's going to be at the Creek in the Cave at 5:15 p.m. Wait, 5? We're doing a podcast at 5:15 p.m.?
Yep.
All right, so bring your grandparents for the Comedy Early Bird Special with Janine Garofalo. Single tickets available.
I think you can go online.
Oh, my God. Nick, do you ever get upset that you're the only comedian without a podcast? Does that ever get hard?
Yeah, I remember when I first thought about having a podcast, and I thought, oh, it's too late. And that was like 2010. I thought, it's past. No one's doing it anymore. It's too late. And then again, every year, I missed the boat. I wish I would have done it last time I thought this. And I thought it this morning. And I thought it's too late.
Well, you know what, Nick? You're going to get a podcast right now.
That would be.
It's your show now.
But what is the podcast? You know, like I don't know what my podcast would be, and that's the hard part because my parents call me and they say, you know, how's it going? And you know what's behind that. I say fine, and they go, have you had any ideas maybe for a podcast? And it's just like, I'll tell you when I do.
Yeah.
You asking me doesn't help. It makes me actually feel insecure because now I got to tell you, no, I don't have an idea for a podcast, Dad.
And then Mom gets on. She's like, who are you talking to, Nicholas? Let me talk to him.
Has he come up with a podcast?
And then Dad just has to do the shake where he's like, he's still doing. He keeps saying it's a fad.
Yeah.
He was saying that for freaking 15 years, Linda.
Yeah, let me guess. He said, I should have done it last time, I thought.
Yeah. That's our son. That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's our son.
And they know that I'm on podcasts,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
They texted me this morning.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they set this up.
Oh.
That's why
okay.
you're here. They were like, can you do us a solid, John? I was like, sure. Just pay for your cameo. So they ordered a cameo. I was doing the cameo. This is long thing. It was like, by the way, you don't have to do any special shout outs or nothing like that. This is going to be deleted. We will post it to stories, but 24 hours later, it will be deleted. This is for our son, Nick Thune. He's a comedian. He's a tall guy who has like a beard and a guitar. And I was like, I'm familiar. Yeah, I've heard of him. And then they were like, we got to get him on a podcast. Because he keeps saying, I'm going to go on podcasts and all these things. And can you do us a really big solid? I said, sure, just give me a tip on Cameo.
My mom asked me an interesting question, which made me kind of rethink everything. She asked me, and this was casually over the holidays, she said, who is podcast? And I thought, I think that she's been confused about what podcasts are this whole time. Who is podcast?
She asked me about Mr. Podcast.
Yeah. Who's podcast?
Yeah.
Do you know him? Could he help you?
Do you want me to introduce you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. Oh, there is a guy.
Yeah, Nick.
Oh, okay. So my mom wasn't wrong.
No.
Okay.
Your mom's onto something. Your mom knows. She's hip. You talk to Mr. Podcast. That's how we got our podcast.
Because she said also, and where's podcast?
Yeah.
And I thought, I mean, online? I don't know.
That's a good start. That is a good start. But it's wherever you want it to be. And that's what I think your podcast should do. Okay? I'm just thinking of some names for your podcast. We'll just kind of throw some out. See if you like them.
I love it.
Do you like to be silly?
Yeah.
Okay, what about Looney Tunes?
That was a nickname I had growing up.
Really?
Yeah. Looney Tunes, and that's what actually my fan base calls themselves.
The Looney Tunes.
Yeah, the Looney Tunes.
The Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
That's a good start because that's step one of being a comedian and having a podcast. You have to come up with a name for your followers.
Yeah.
So everyone who listens is a Looney Tune, okay? So it's a silly podcast.
Thune head, Looney Tune.
Thune heads. I do like that, okay? Be like, hey, man, walking around with a tie-dye Nick shirt. You're like, you a Thune head? Like, yeah.
I thought about, what about Just in the Nick of Thune?
Just in the nick of Thune.
That floated around for a while.
We'll let that one keep floating.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll let that one keep floating.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I kind of like the Thune thing.
It's Nick time.
What about Thick Nude?
Thick noon?
Thick Nude.
Nude.
Thick Nudes.
Yes. I like that.
What about a podcast called Thick Nudes?
I'm already following it just by hearing that.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. I'm like, click, follow. I feel like the sponsor is kind of, you know what I mean? You're getting Blue Chew, you know? They're going to sponsor you immediately.
Oh, God, that would be great.
Yeah, immediately. And that's part of the fun of doing a podcast is in between doing the art form, you get to do your part in capitalism. It's awesome.
About time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Mm-hmm. And that's why today's episode is brought to you by Thick Dudes. What's our thing today? Let's play a game, Nick. Mm-hmm. This game is called Thune or Tune. Here's how it's going to work. Mm-hmm. I did some research by Googling, and I found quotes from either your stand-up specials, from either this thing called YouTube Shorts, or interviews, and then I also found famous lyrics from tunes. And you have to tell me if it's something from Thune or it's a tune.
Okay. I like this.
Does that premise make sense?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. All right. Johannes, does it make sense to you? It's kind of
yeah.
like it's a play on his name. And one of them is like from it'll be his quotes, and that refers to the Thune.
Okay.
And then the other one is from music, which refers to a tune. But that's another way to say song.
Yep.
You say, I got a tune. So it's like going to be one of those, or it's going to be one of those.
Perfect. Yep.
I don't know if they have,
I don't know if he's actually on board.
I don't think he does. They don't have that in Italy. All right. Here we go. I was 14 years old, and I had my heart broken for the first time. Is that a Thune or a tune?
That sounds like a Thune to me.
That's correct. It's a Thune. The rest of it goes, and when I got home from school, my dad sat me down and said,
If you let a bird go and it comes back, then that's a carrier pigeon.
that's right. You knew that because it's yours. Got that one right.
It's a good quote, yeah.
That's a really good quote.
Yeah.
Your dad said that?
In that joke, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
My dad is such a great in my jokes. He's so
I was going to say, I
poignant.
love
He really thinks, yeah.
the way your dad talks in your jokes.
Yeah.
The way everyone talks in your jokes. All the real interactions you have that you recite.
Yeah.
I love those.
Thank you.
Yeah. Here's one. I'm going to be a father.
I mean, this is hard because I am one.
You're going to be a father?
Well, no, I
Did we
am.
just get breaking news? Johannes, clip it. You heard it here first, folks.
Clip
Nick
it.
Dude is going to be a father. Round of applause.
I'm going to be one, and I have been one.
You have been one.
Yeah, and it just continues.
Oh.
Yeah.
You got to keep it.
I'll stay a father for a long until I'm dead.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
is the hope, and
Okay.
that could be any time.
Do you remember saying you're going to be a father?
I bet. I could see that being a Thune.
It was Paul Simon. Yeah, it was actually Paul Simon.
Does he have kids?
He's going to be a father. Is that? Does he have kids, or is this also breaking news?
Well, I'm pretty sure he has kids. Yes. I don't think they're breaking
I
it.
thought we're getting two
Paul
stories.
Simon says.
Paul Simon says, put your coffee down.
Okay.
All right, pick your coffee up.
No.
Paul Simon didn't say.
Paul Simon didn't say.
I wish somebody would open up a restaurant and call it I Don't Care, so I can finally go to the place my wife is always talking about.
That's a Thune.
That's actually the Counting Crows.
Oh,
Yeah. That was the Counting Crows song.
good. I actually don't want to take credit for that anyway.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's not yours.
Yeah.
That's not how this game works. Next one. And I saw a guy, and he was happy. I walked up to him and I said, "Sir, I need to know the secret to life of happiness." And I'll never forget what he said. He said,
I'm 7 years old.
you've seen the movie. Mm-hmm. That was Bob Dylan, played by Timothy Chardonnay. That was a good movie.
Yeah, God, I love the Chardonnay stuff.
I love that stuff. I love that guy.
I've been off Chardonnay for, I guess, 6.5 years, and when that movie came out, I had to relapse.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it. Mm-hmm. That performance.
Yeah.
But he was great in Thune, you know.
All right. Next one. I think all of my jokes have been able to stand without the guitar. The guitar was just kind of this thing I enjoyed doing, and I thought about adding another element to it. The more and more I went, I was like, I have the desire to test my material because I got worried because some comedians do stuff, and it's like, if they weren't doing this thing of it, or if this guy was chubby, then he was just being chubby. But what if he wasn't chubby anymore? And I know none of these things are the same, but you just kind of start to look at it that way. And I really want my jokes and the stories to be able to stand without the music. So I started testing everything without music I did on TV or anything, just to make sure it stands alone. And then the material is worth it. I'm interested in telling stories and talking about who I really am, rather than making up fake things. I don't know. There's no place for it. I just don't have it anymore.
Is that you too?
Nas.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Nas.
I hate that quote by Nas.
I do too.
Can't relate to it at all.
I miss his old stuff.
Yeah.
New stuff's a bummer. So, Nick, I wanted to know, because I'm about to go do a string of stand-up shows. I wanted to know if you could help me a little bit.
Probably not, but yeah, I can.
I feel
I
like
want to. I mean, I don't know if I can.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's the willingness, Nick.
It's the desire, I guess, yeah.
Yes, that hidden desire. I'm trying to crank that up to 7.
Yeah, because the intention's there. The desire, the intention, the want. It's just we don't know about the ability yet, but let's see.
That's how I feel every time I step on stage. So
That's what about
wondering,
the I was actually just reciting a review of my last special.
Oh, that's the one I didn't read. That's a dude.
Yeah.
All right, give him a point. Give him a final point. How do you write a joke?
How do you not? That's the thing, is you kind of, it's when you're trying to not do something, a lot of times that's when it happens.
Okay, got it.
So I'll sit down and I'll say, you're not trying to write a joke. You're just trying to write a letter to your parents.
Right.
To tell them that you still don't have podcast.
Right.
And within that letter, jokes are going to come. That's a for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why don't we try? Do you mind just grabbing and noodling a little bit? And
No.
then you can see if you can come up with
Hold
something.
on. You guys don't call it noodles. You call it pasta.
Pastaing, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you. This guy thinks he's Italian.
No, he's
Noodles.
Probably, he might be in a pasta.
Just kind of linguine a little bit. Oh, Johannes, I know. Let's use Goblin magic to have the guitar appear. Okay, ready? When I snap my fingers, have the guitar appear.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Wow.
oh my God!
Yeah.
Do you have the jokes already?
I got a doodle and then it'll just kind of come. I'm not going to write the jokes. I'm going to write a story.
Yep. Write a story and the jokes will come.
Yeah. Once upon a time, someone asked me to tell a joke about metal music. But I didn't want to bring everybody down, because metal tends to be a bit heavy.
I like that back away move.
Is that?
It's like you drop something and you're just trying to get away from it.
Yeah, well, I dropped a bunch of stuff. That's what I do. Once upon a time. Do you always have to start with once upon a time because you're writing a story? Okay. Once upon a time, someone asked me why the Hulk is so bad. Told him it's probably due to the steroids. That guy makes The Rock look like the Pebble.
You know, what I want to see more of
Okay, yeah. Give me notes. I'm open for notes.
is sadness, because where does, I mean, I one of my favorite artists, Townes Van Zandt, said, without dark, there's no light, I mean, and I know it's a commonly said thing, but it's like you can't make them laugh if you're not going to take them down to what the core of the feeling is, which is that you're in trouble. So when I play this chord right here, this is a B minor, but it's actually what is this? This is actually an E minor, but it's in the shape of a B minor, just capoed. So what I want you to do is hear this. So I'm going to go from this, right? This is happy.
Once upon a time.
And then I'm going to go.
When I wake up early in the morning and I look at the mirror, I just can't stand the guy that's like looking at me. But oftentimes I get myself and I go to work.
See, we're building.
And when I step into work and I see my boss and everyone's gathered around,
Bring it down.
they just start to point. And they start to laugh.
I'm going to bring it back up.
And I like laughing because I'm a comedian. I want them to laugh. See, I actually want them to laugh. I don't care if they're laughing at me. That's all you can hope for as a comedian, is to have people laugh at you. But see, then something happens. Their laughter intensifies. And what it does to me, it stops eliciting joy. And all of a sudden I realize the thing that they're laughing at is, I showed up to work and I ain't got no pants on.
Pants.
I'm just a baby down there. A bunch of gauze as a diaper. I think they realized that I recently performed surgery on myself trying to nip my own tip. And that's what they've been laughing at.
About 30-something years, a little too late.
That's right.
And that's what you want to say in there. It's the one thing you don't want to be late to is your own circumcision.
I like that.
I was about 30-some years late.
Did I say that?
Yeah, and then maybe at that you say the doctors weren't sure if I was going to make it out. But then I made it. I lived to tell a tale. At this point, a shorter tale, but it's a tale nonetheless. They tell me it's cleaner. It's easier to clean.
Speaking of clean, Nick, you went on the road with Nate Bargatze.
Yes.
And you had to perform clean, I read.
Mm-hmm.
What soap did you use?
Whatever they had on hand, really. Especially if it was in my hand. But yeah, I was using mostly hand soap because what people don't realize is hand soap also works on stomach. It also works on shoulder and elbow.
You be clean.
Mm-hmm. I do be clean, and but it's actually fun to be clean.
Have you noticed a new audience becoming aware of Nick Thune because of this?
Yeah.
Compared to the dirtbags that were following you before?
Yeah, they've really, my audience has really, become more judgmental of anything dirty that I have ever done, for sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, before I get you out of here, pal, I'm going to ask you my right now rapid fire questionnaire. Mm-hmm. Here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask you 5 rapid fire questions. Don't overthink it. Just tell me the very first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Left or right?
Right.
Westmoreland.
Cool.
Favorite genre of metal?
Norwegian.
All right, there's a snail chasing you. I do like Norwegian metal as well. Johannes, are you a fan of that kind of metal? Okay. There's a snail chasing you. The snail is moving at a snail's pace, but it's going to follow you for the rest of your life. You can go as fast as slow as you want, but the snail will always be moving in your direction. If you touch it or the snail touches you, you die. But before you ask, yes, it can swim and survive in any atmosphere. What's your plan to survive the snail?
Lettuce. The more lettuce you eat, I think, honestly, I don't know. I said lettuce and I want to take it back. I don't, has nothing to do with lettuce.
I'm just going to pause right here, Nick. Mm-hmm. Because we've had 28, 29 guests sit in this throne. Mm-hmm. Every comedian turns into a philosopher and, I know what to do with this riddle. And they just go on and just talk a bunch of stuff when it's like, obviously the snail's going to catch up to them and they go and die. Mm-hmm. No one has ever sat there and went, you know what? I, as a human who's only existed the 45 years since December 8th, 1979. Mm-hmm. You know what? I don't know what the fuck I would do if there was some crazy ass snail that was just chasing me and following me for the rest of my life. I haven't done anything that would equip me to know the answer to that.
And I'm not going to try and make something up. And
no.
Hope it turns into gold.
No. You're going to sit here and just kind of spew stuff out of your mouth. Mm-hmm. And just hope it turns into a joke.
Yeah.
That's not how you write a joke. How you write a joke is you spew a bunch of stuff out of your mouth and you hope it becomes a joke. Mm-hmm. That's not what you're doing.
No. I just said, we're going down the wrong path on this one. Let's pull out and try and just make sure we make the most, the least amount of damage as possible, and hopefully we can rebuild some trust back and go from there.
Let us build trust. Mm-hmm. Let us.
Yeah, let us.
Oh, so that was correct. Mm-hmm. Okay. You've been at Trader Joe's.
I'm sorry. I heard.
Thank you so much, Nick. Mm-hmm. Dude, everybody. Round of applause for Nicholas. And now, Nick, it's your opportunity to talk to this camera and promote whatever you got going on.
Well, you can go to my website, Arby's.com, and pick out a meal for yourself and for whoever else. I've got a special on YouTube called Born Young that I think is right up your alley. I really do. I think any camera would like it. And I think also you can see me live, and those dates are on nickthune.com. And other than that, I don't know, man. I just what am I doing, Between you and me, camera, I am scared. I get scared. I get scared and then I stay scared.
And Nick, that was such a good promo. I can tell you're so good at promos.
Thank you.
So I thought it would be kind of fun, since you're so good at promos, to kind of read a promo about me that I pre-wrote for you.
Great.
Okay, so that's under your chair, and it's got some guitar in it. So I don't know, how is he going to see? Johannes!
Yeah.
You're just going to have to hold it for him. We don't have a music stand, so you hold it for him. Yeah. Johannes, get in there. That guy wrote it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right.
But the first part doesn't actually have guitar, if you kind of see there.
Well, it does a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Before I start playing, I just want to make sure that my guitar is in tune. If you know somebody that was born young or born old, you should order them a birthday cameo from John. And if you do it, they're sure to think you're a good guy. Or my name isn't Nathaniel Thunisterman. They say everything is bigger in Texas, unless Johannes' pants fall down. No slogan can help that thing. You would take one look and shout, "That's one bad Johnson." Luckily, John will be performing all week at the Moontower Comedy Festival in Austin. with live podcast recordings this Friday, the 18th, and Saturday, the 19th, with special guests like the Sklar brothers, Chloe Ratcliffe, Janine Garofalo. Get those tickets right in the immediate present time. And thanks to my new friend, my new Goblin friend. You can tune in next week to see my new podcast. You'll hear Nick jokes like this one. I recently realized I no longer like being the big spoon in bed. I think I'm more of a big Thune.
Sure.
Okay.
Subscribed.
That's enough pun for today.
Oh, that was very good. Man. I tell you what. You should hire me as your writer on your new podcast.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah. We gotta launch it
Yeah.
on my network.
Did podcasts have writers?
Yeah. I think so.
I'm always learning new things about podcasts. I don't know.
All of them are scripted. There's a teleprompter. And the thing about teleprompters is, if you read them word for word, then jokes will come out. Turn to Johannes and give him thumbs up.
I mean, but if you believe in God, everything's really scripted, wouldn't you say?
Gob.
Yeah.
When you believe in Gob, everything's scripted. And hand to Gob. I'm so thankful you came on, Nick.
Thank you.
I didn't actually get to your movie career, so the Bad Johnson reference, that's just for you and me.
Yeah.
That's just for you and me.
For us.
That's just for us. Okay? I feel like me and him are just totally into this episode.
Me too.
Me too. It's like saying at the same time, so we're like dude. 1, 2, 3. Me too.
Me tube.
Me tube.
Yeah.
Me tube. There's YouTube, and we create Me tube.
I before me, except after you.
You tube.
Yeah.
Clip it! For kids, get your car today.